Hi, I'm here, Pastor Mike, and I'm here with Ron Kruger, who is teaching our Proverbs class right now. And we started, Ron was teaching some classes last fall on Hosea, and as we went into the wintertime, he took that right over into Proverbs. And then with everything happening, we've had to change our pattern of how we're doing things. So we thought we'd introduce people to Ron a little bit and the class and what's taking place in that. Um, and Hopefully, if you're interested in that, you'll reach out to us and we'll be able to get you the information. We're doing the class through Zoom right now. But Ron, as you and I met and talked last winter, actually with last fall when we did the first class, we talked about some desires for the class, that it's a class that actually helps people to grow in their ability to study and apply God's word. Can you talk just a little bit about that and how we've structured the class?
Yeah. Well, for one thing, we don't have lectures. The way that we started in Hosea is actually the way we ended up in Hosea, and the way we're continuing in Proverbs, and that is the class period is devoted primarily to small group study. And so what I do is provide questions every week. And from Proverbs, it's from this Life Change series by Navigators. And so I pull questions as a subset of them out of there, enough that we would have time to handle. And then the small groups go over them together. And that way, everybody in the class has the opportunity to actually study the Proverbs.
So if I'm fairly new, or if I've never really studied the Bible before, will I feel out of place in regard to this class?
Some people, I guess, are not real comfortable speaking, not face to face. They're not really technologically oriented, but you don't really have to be particularly gifted or anything, because you can see who you're talking to, and you don't have to worry about the control of anything.
Okay.
If you just find that you're in a group and you can see the names of everybody else in the group, and you can just share the same as you would if we were sitting around a small table.
What are some things that stand out to you as a teacher?
Well, for me, I guess really the major highlight for me is fellowship. The one thing that is very difficult to get during this period of time when we're sheltered at home is fellowship. And so to be able to offer an opportunity, for all of us to look into God's word and talk about our own experiences. The topics always bring up a number of thoughts about our own personal experiences and interactions we've had with other people. We can encourage one another. We sometimes can challenge one another. And it's everything that fellowship is supposed to do. And we can continue to have that. Obviously, the main difference is we aren't physically there, but it certainly is the next best thing.
We've talked a little bit about how Proverbs is something that really does apply to right now. What are a couple of ways that we can all be applying Proverbs to our life right now as you've been teaching this for the last several weeks?
Well, at this time in history, one very obvious, very relevant application for everybody is be wise, don't be foolish. That's a major theme of Proverbs. It pops out in many, many different verses. And right now, a big part of being wise is to listen to the experts, believe what they say, and what they continue to tell us to do to reduce the spread of COVID-19. That is an incredibly practical, relevant application for us right now. Another one that comes to mind all the time for me. A proverb says, "Let love and faithfulness never leave us." And I think that's critically important. We need to show love. We need to be faithful, to God, to our family members, to our neighbors. And we need to think of ways to show compassion and kindness. And of course, that has to be done in the context of social distancing. So it might be in the form of phone calls and texts or financial gifts or other expressions of compassion and care.
All right. So if people are interested, we encourage you to get a hold of the church office. We're doing this through Zoom, so there's actually a connection that we're doing that's a private connection. It keeps the class secure. And we can get people that information if they're interested in joining your class. Just contact our church office and we'll get them that information. Ron, thanks for taking some time and talking today. Looking forward to seeing what God does through this class.